Friday night, clinching that playoff spot was such a big deal for this Pistons franchise, and it's such a big deal for this Pistons fan base. To clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2018, 2019, that's been 6, 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago now, whatever, however long ago that has been. That's about as long as I've been out of high school, and it's crazy to even think and fathom that. Time is flying by, but that's neither here or there. This Detroit Pistons team finally exceeded expectations. Heading into this offseason with a new firing Monty Williams, coming off the historically worst season in franchise history, bringing in Trajan Langdon, who brought in veterans like Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Malik Beasley, bringing in JB Bickerstaff to be the head coach of this Pistons team. Everybody that talked about the Detroit Pistons, whether it be my YouTube channel, other people that talk about the Detroit Pistons through podcasts, YouTube channels on the radio, or on even ESPN, everyone's was taken with this new front office, this new regime. Can the Detroit Pistons stop being a bottom feeder in the Eastern Conference and at least make the play-in tournament? Well, they've exceeded those expectations, and this Detroit Pistons team, ever since New Year's Eve, the trade deadline, they've been one of the better teams in the NBA, and they can have a chance to do some damage in the first round and maybe possibly win a first-round playoff series. Within the last couple weeks, the Detroit Pistons were competing for the 4 seed to possibly even be able to host a playoff series. But it looks like they started to fall a little bit behind the Indiana Pacers. We're about 2.5, 3.5 back from that 4 seed with 3 games left. I don't think we're going to get that 4 seed, but it's us against the Milwaukee Bucks for the 5th seed or the 6th seed. And what that gains us is a playoff series with the Indiana Pacers or a playoff series with the New York Knicks. And personally, I would like a playoff series with the New York Knicks because I think that gives us the best chance to win in the first round. Cade has been going off in Madison Square Garden when we played the New York Knicks this year, so you can say Cade kind of owns Madison Square Garden, and he out-duels Jalen Brunson every time the Detroit Pistons play the New York Knicks. We have a game against them on Thursday, but if the Milwaukee Bucks win tonight and they're getting 2.5 back, I'm starting to think the Detroit Pistons are going to start resting some players and start getting ready for that playoff series. That's why the Detroit Pistons have been struggling recently, losing 4 of the last 5. The lineup has been inconsistent. Tobias hasn't been playing. Cade just recently joined the lineup. Jalen Duren was out of the lineup on Saturday. That's why we got out-rebounded by 50. But right now, I think we're just resting players and getting ready for the playoffs. That's honestly what I think. I think that's what's going on. I'm not really worried about it the rest of the season. I'm not really concerned about it. I just want the playoffs to start. And like I said, Cade's first game against New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden, he had 29, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds. He had a triple-double that game. And then the following game, he had 39 points, 4 assists. He was just going off against the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Earlier in the season, the New York Knicks came to Detroit and blew us out of the water. We got a game against them tomorrow. We'll see how that matches up. But that's going to be probably our first-round series. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to run away with the fifth seed unless we sweep them in the last 2 games of the regular season. But if we had the Indiana Pacers in the first round, that would be an entertaining series. So it's either way. I'm not going to complain what series we get, but I just think we struggled against the Indiana Pacers this year, whether that have been Miles Turner hitting us for 10 threes behind when he came to Detroit. They beat us by like 10 points every matchup, and it's just been super frustrating matchups because we've been right in those basketball games, but Tyrese Haliburton goes crazy at the end of the game. Miles Turner hits a couple threes. Nembhard hits a couple threes. And it just seems like the Pacers have our number all season long. And that's why I wouldn't really want a first-round series with the Indiana Pacers, even though it'd be fun because Jalen Duren doesn't like Tyrese Haliburton. Tyrese Haliburton doesn't like Cade Cunningham. Shit, even George Blaha doesn't even like Tyrese Haliburton. I don't like Tyrese Haliburton. I don't like anything to do with the Indiana Pacers. I think that would be an entertaining first round. And I think both these series are either going to go 6 or 7 games, and the Pistons can win against the Knicks in 6 games. If they play against the Indiana Pacers, I think that game's going to go 7 games. But right now, where this Detroit Pistons team is sitting, they've been one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference since New Year's Eve. They've been one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference since the trade deadline, and we're a 6th seed. They've exceeded expectations, and that's something that this Detroit Pistons team hasn't done in the last decade and a half, and that's why it's such a big deal to not be in a play-in tournament, to actually lock in a playoff series, and you have a chance to win a playoff series for the first time since 08-09. It's a good time to be a Detroit Pistons fan. It's Detroit basketball. Cade's healthy. The team's getting healthy. The playoffs are here. It's going to probably be against the New York Knicks. Who do you guys want? Let me know in the comment section down below. Either the Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks in the first round. It's going to be fun. Playoff basketball is here. March Madness just ended. It's time to focus completely on the NBA right now. Let's go Pistons. Comment down below who you want in the first round. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.